When would you say that your awakening began?
Well, now, and I'm gonna say I had my awakening. First, I'm gonna start off saying I'm a little nervous. And usually I'm not nervous. I think I'm a little nervous because I'm telling my story.
Okay.
Usually if I come on, do an interview or something, I'm giving some kind of reading or giving other people advice on what to do,
Mhm.
or learning their story. So for me to be telling my story is like I'm good. I'm getting a little nervous because even when I go on interviews, I do my background, but it don't get into probably the questions you about to ask me. You
I,
know, so
I
so
won't be too bad.
I had my awakening. I'm gonna say my awakening happened in 2017, but before then, I always had I always use my intuition. Always have. Ever since I was a child, I always loved helping people as I started off. But I knew it was something different because my family and everything, they would consider it weird. I stayed to myself, always had questions about God. So it was always in me. So I
Mm.
think through my different milestones of my life, I had different awakenings. Some was small, some was large. And as your conscious, as you lift your vibration, your conscious, you become conscious of a lot of things that's way beyond. So as I kept evolving, I had my major transformation in 2017. But
Okay.
it was an ongoing journey, an ongoing process at the same time. So
Okay.
that's why I say it's not one particular awakening. It was many. And I still have certain awakenings. More are more powerful than others, but it's a constant thing because you constantly evolving in this knowledge, it's infinite knowledge.
Right.
So you
Right.
gonna constantly be lifting your vibration or having different awakenings. But my
So,
major one was 2017.
okay, and yeah, so that's basically what I was going to ask you. Like, so but it was 2017 that the light bulb went off. Like something is going on. Like because you're right, it's a ever growing thing, and I think a lot of us are. You do have some form of it as a child, but I think because you're a child, you're not really paying attention to that, and you're so innocent and you're very close to it. But as you get older, life and circumstances and things kind of,
Exactly.
you know, kind of
Yeah.
tilt you off a little bit, and then boom, here you you come back
Yeah.
like a rubber band.
Then you be taught certain things.
Yes.
So that take away a lot of a lot of people trust in their intuition because you told what to do, what to say, how to behave. So that kind of detour you. So
That's true.
yeah, I had a major awakening in 2017. I kind of knew it was coming because as I said, I always um I have a gift, but my gift is not in just psychic. I channel different things, I have different visions. um I can pick up different energies and stuff like that. So that's why I just say a spiritual advisor, because I have gifts in different things dealing
Okay.
with supernatural, dealing with the supernatural.
So in 2017, how was that awakening? Like, how did it go? What happened?
Now, that awakening was extremely, I don't want to say, it was extremely powerful.
Okay.
Um, like you said, it was like a light bulb went off. You know, um, it was like God actually communicated to me that exact time. So I
Okay.
always knew I was close to God and I was receiving messages from God. Um, Sometime Sometimes I would doubt messages, but I started learning that God communicate in many forms. Even when you think you don't get one message, it's gonna come back around so you can know that you communicating with your higher power. So you
Mhm.
won't ignore it. So this was something I couldn't ignore. Because through that time, as I said, my many awakenings, the ones I had before that, they were mild. So I just started becoming the same way. Me receiving my messages, telling people what I knew or whatever people I came in contact, if I felt it was a need for me to tell them something. But that day, it was like I actually had a conversation with God.
Mm.
So it was extremely powerful because it was so much love that I could not contain that energy. I had to tell my family, I was telling friends, calling them up. It was so powerful. I felt like I had to deliver this message that, God is with us. This love. I mean, I was sounding, really crazy at that time, but that's how powerful it was because it's something you can't even obtain or explain. I
Okay.
just knew it was love, it was light, and I had a vision along with that. So the vision, that vision that I received along with the awakening, that's when my whole life took a whole nother direction. Because at that time I knew that I was chosen to be a child, a servant for God, meaning to
Mhm.
make sure I spread messages regarding light, to get people to go within, to get back to God. Um, and after that, I also had to cut things out my life. So that communication that I had with God, it was also directing me to understand that I had to cut a lot of things out in my life that was not serving me,
Mhm.
to better myself. So I took that journey because I understood that this is me. I'm a vessel for God. And after that, that's when I started using the divinity tools, started doing YouTube and the Instagram. And I'm gonna say this too. A lot of people that have gifts, like all of us have gifts, but
Mhm.
a lot of us hide. The main thing I learned from that awakening was I was hidden. As I said, I had it since a child. I always just kept to myself. Always, my grandma was a pastor, so we always talked about God. I always wanted to play church. I just really stayed close to God, even through my teenage years. I always used to pray. That's the main important thing that she taught me was the all authority is God.
Mhm.
So during that time of that awakening, I knew right then that I had my consciousness had reached a certain level that I couldn't even fully understand. So that was kind of scary too. You know, um it was scary because I had to understand the process of, if is this about me? Is this about the collective? Is this about somebody I know? Because I was getting so many messages coming in that I had to, go through like, hold on, this about my life. This not about them. So that's when the
Mhm.
tools came into play because I had to see the storylines. I needed something to direct, okay, this happening in the collective, this happening with me. So that's how I end up using the tarot cards to
Okay.
give me more of a description and guide me to break it down on different things that's happening in the world.